Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another WFSO Wrestling Talk. Of course, with yours truly, Artrell Jones. We have another wrestler manager in this. If y'all was liking like what happened like this. I think it was Tuesday. I did that interview, but you probably will have another enjoyment with this wrestler manager. He works with Peak Sports Entertainment. That and he also owns a arena football. So we can talk more about that and get to know what it is. So let's bring him in. Miguel Morga. So let's bring him in. So this will be interesting. So let's see what happens. Okay. Hey, what's going on?
Artell, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. For people that don't know you, like, tell them like who you are.
My name is Miguel Morga. I am with Peak Sports Entertainment out of Everett, Washington, a hotbed of professional wrestling, the Pacific Northwest. I work as a wrestler, general manager, uh, on in-ring talent, pretty much doing it all. Creating a foundation to grow professional wrestling in the Pacific Northwest, particularly Everett, and help launch careers.
Oh, okay. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But what got you into wrestling?
Well, that's a good question. I think like a lot of people, who end up working independent wrestling or just I guess watching wrestling in general. I started as a fan when I was probably about 4 years old. So it's been a long time, and just kind of growing up, watching the business, seeing the craft from a consumer side, and realizing as I've got older and I've done more and had more time to pursue an independent wrestling career. I just looked for opportunities and took advantage of those. But I think, like a lot of people, I was exposed young, enjoyed the everything about professional wrestling, and became a super fan. Moved into trying to build a little bit of a career.
That's pretty cool. Since you say you've been general manager, also you've been manager, and also yeah, wrestler as well. So also you mentioned me earlier when last time we talked that you co-own a arena football team.
True. I've expanded beyond wrestling. Actually, I've expanded from football into wrestling. So I am co-owner and general manager of the Washington Wolfpack, based out of Everett, Washington. We play in Arena Football One, for fans of arena football. Check out the AF1, check out the Washington Wolfpack if you're in the Everett, Washington area. It's a great event. There's certainly some crossover. I appeared on a podcast for the league and challenged one of the other owners to meet me in the ring at our March 15th Peak Sports Entertainment event. So it's a good time. But the AF1 has teams all across the country. Former Tennessee Titans, St. Louis Rams, or Los Angeles Rams head coach Jeff Fisher is our commissioner. Jerry Kerr's an arena football legend, is the CEO. And so, like with independent wrestling, we're building a brand. And that's really exciting. So, sports in the Everett area, whether it be football, whether it be professional wrestling, whether it be WNBA growing. We had an amazing professional women's hockey league event out here in the Seattle area. So just sports in general are growing and expanding, and live sports, people ingesting the product, coming out of COVID and kind of that shutdown. People are hungry for these types of activities, and I just love in some way contributing to that and help build that on a smaller scale.
Yeah, y'all do need to bring back the Seattle Supersonics. So hopefully y'all will get that pretty soon.
I think there are lots of people in the state of Washington that would agree with you there.
Yeah, hopefully y'all do get it, but it looks like you will. So it's just a matter of when. But anyways, as like a wrestler, like you train and all that stuff. Am I right?
I train. One thing about independent wrestling, and I'll go back to I'm 41 years old. I started training when I was 39, so I had that quite a bit of a gap. But when I remember independent wrestling and growing up in the Midwest, 20, 25 years ago,
Oh,
it was glorified backyard wrestling, and you still see video and clips of what appear to be completely untrained individuals that are performing in the ring. And what I appreciate about Peak Sports Entertainment and why I got involved here is there was that commitment to training individuals, developing the craft. So when we compete, when we perform, we're performing as professionals and not glorified backyard wrestlers.
yeah, I understand that. And I did call that you are from the Midwest. Like where in the Midwest?
I grew up in Wisconsin, Southwest Wisconsin. Yeah, I love
I
that.
said
Love
that
that
because I'm
limestone.
here. Yeah, I said that because
Uh,
I'm here in Milwaukee. So
Okay. So I was on the Southwest area, but I'm a huge Milwaukee Brewers fan. I'm sure you and other people in Milwaukee with Bob Uecker's passing, that was
yeah,
absolutely heartbreaking. And just yeah, talk about an icon's icon there. But that's Milwaukee's a great sports city, and there are some elements of that out here in Seattle with just the support of local sports, and I love it out here. I'm a huge Seattle Kraken fan, so I have adopted some of the hometown teams, and while I'll probably always root for the Bucks, I hope the Supersonics can come be revitalized in Seattle. I think that would be great for the area.
oh yeah, I think it would be good too. But yeah, like you said, with the Bob Uecker's passing, and I think it did hit everybody like pretty hard. And hopefully they win the World Series for him this year. But that's just me. But who knows?
That's what I'm hoping for at least. But the Dodgers are sure spending money.
Oh yes, they
They
are.
they remind me of myself in the wrestling ring, just spending money to get the outcome that you want.
Very true. Uh, you know, um, what promotions in the Washington area that you work with?
I work with only Peak Sports Entertainment, and for the most part, that's a time issue. I shared with you I own an arena football team, and I'm the general manager of that team. It's hard, for anyone who's listening that is a independent wrestler or a consumer of independent wrestling. It's a grind, and to build a career, it's a grind. You're out on the road all the time. You're driving. You're looking for any appearance, and I'm somewhat limited. I'm fortunate. Peak Sports Entertainment is practically in my backyard. And so I've not expanded outside of there. I'm starting to kind of push my reach a little bit. I'm appearing this Saturday in Portland at the Portland Wrestling Expo. For anyone who might be in the Portland area, that's this Saturday. Come meet me, get to wear my hat, see the champion of Peak Sports Entertainment, Rebel Kel, who's one of the most phenomenal talents in the Pacific Northwest. Nothing but upside for her in her career. So it's a great opportunity to meet us, other independent wrestlers, and then some throwback wrestlers like Luke from the Bushwhackers, Eric Bischoff, and a number of other Portland legends will be there. So I'm looking forward to that event. And if you're listening and in the Portland area, please go to Portland Wrestling Expo and get your tickets.
What was the website they can go to for that event?
It's on Facebook at Portland Wrestling Expo. It's pwexpo.com is the website.
Okay, cool. Any accomplishments that you had either as a manager or wrestler so far?
It's all accomplishments. Just being there is an accomplishment. So I manage the Peak Sports Entertainment champion, as I said, Rebel Kell. That's what I feel is my biggest accomplishment, and really, there are individual accomplishments, but there's also promotion accomplishments. We were fortunate just this past weekend to host the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Tom Latimer. So he defended his championship out here against another local wrestler, Brian Cook. We had the biggest attendance we've ever had at an event. It was a complete sellout. We were jammed right up to fire code numbers for the event, and it was just amazing energy. I'm proud to be associated with that. I was proud to be on the card, managing Rebel Kell and assisting, and I know everyone who was involved, from the referees, the promoters, the other talent on the card. It was an amazing. An amazing achievement, probably one, it doesn't go on paper that we were part of that and help build that, but I know every single person is, including myself, is looking at that as probably one of the signature accomplishments of their career, certainly probably the highlight of 2025.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Who are your I know you mentioned one current heavyweight champion, but what are the other titles you have in your cup in your fed, and who holds them right now?
We have the main championship, the Peak Sports Entertainment champion, and then we have the Dragonplex Dojo championship. The Dragonplex Dojo is the training center that many of the local talent, including myself, train at, and so that was developed into a championship. And another person, if you get a chance, check him out on social media. Matt Brannigan is the Dragonplex Dojo champion. I know he is traveling up and down the coast, wrestling in Portland, up in Canada, every place he can get. And if you ever have a chance to watch Matt Brannigan wrestle, you're gonna be impressed. It's worth that. That's worth the ticket price. Just up front. Everything else is gravy after that. So he's another individual. Our paths haven't crossed in the ring, which is probably good for him because I'd have to bring him down a peg or two. But just his work is amazing. Maybe sometime in the future I'll have an opportunity to manage him.
Cool. Have you thinking like you more? Because I know you thinking you're gonna expand your company and all that stuff. Like, are you thinking of maybe going on like a tour or something like that?
Well, we are looking for different opportunities. We've been in discussion with some different breweries in the area to hold an event, kind of a super card show. We appeared at an event called Geek Fest in the city of Everett, which is very pop culture, video games, cosplay event, and we were invited back to participate this year, so we're looking for ways to grow that presence, and I'm really excited about that potential partnership. But really, the focus of Peak Sports Entertainment is, do what you do well and then look for the expansion. So some of this is a bit of a slow burn. And Peak Sports Entertainment only started in October of 2023. There was one show in October of 2023 to present the product to the community. And then starting with monthly shows starting in January of 2024. So I think we're only at 14 or 15 shows that we've done. And so it has been a bit of a slow burn, but what we're building is quality, and we're drawing in a bigger audience. We've already sold the front row for our next show, March 15th. Here in Everett, and it's a significant number of our general admission tickets as well. So we're focusing on building and doing what we do well rather than jumping to kind of that rapid expansion, because you can expand quicker than you have the infrastructure to expand, and then it waters down the product. You're not hitting the production the way you want it to. You're not hitting the sound the way you want it to, the lighting, all of the things that go into putting a good show together. So those things will be coming, and we'll be building to those, and I think they're going to be exciting. And I think Peak Sports Entertainment is eventually going to be the promotion when people think about professional wrestling on the west side of Washington. But it is going to take some time to build that.
Yeah, I get that. But what is in your opinion, the best show that y'all hosted so far?
Oh, it has to be last Saturday's show. You bring in the world champion from the NWA, Tom Latimer. Talk about a professional's professional. The NWA is growing. What Billy Corgan is doing to revitalize that brand. The NWA is what all of professional wrestling is built off of. Going back to Lou Thez and Orville Brown, the real legends that paved for the WWF to break away, and the AWA to break away. You can't look at the NWA and not see the legacy there. And so for Tom Latimer as the heavyweight champion, to come out here, and compete and put on an amazing performance. It helped fill the stands. We were at capacity. We could not create additional seating to fit more people, or the fire marshal may have shut us down. So that definitely stands out to me as being our signature show. But also, we're not resting. Now we hit that. Now it's how do we keep bringing that energy, that high level of professionalism to the fans, keep them engaged, and we're going to do it. We've got a lot of great, talented wrestlers on our roster. If anybody's unfamiliar, please check out these wrestlers: Murphy Matson, Mickey Mantoya, Rashad Tyson. These are just a few people that filter through Peak Sports Entertainment. Chris Brady, Zeb St. Juan. I could go on and on with just an amazing roster top to bottom. It helps when you bring in the NWA World Champion. That's always going to get extra eyes. But to have a full roster to show anyone who came to that show that, well, this wasn't one person in one good match and then everything else was substandard. Everybody brought their A game, and no one left dissatisfied with the roster of performers.
Which is a good thing. So it seems like you got some top guys and women. You have like women wrestlers?
Absolutely. Rebel Kell, our champion, the 6-foot stunner, pro wrestling's perfect 30. She is She is our signature, the standard bearer right now as the champion. And Murphy Madsen another one. She was the Dragonplex Dojo champion. So for a period of time, our two champions in our promotion were women wrestlers, and they are again second to no one. And they can take on any any male equivalent on the roster. I've had the unfortunate before Rebel Kell and I kind of joined, and she saw the light and saw me as a good business partner. She also beat me up a few times in the ring as we were working shows, and Murphy Madsen's done the same. They're high quality individuals, and we've recently brought in a Canadian wrestler, Liza Hall, who's another just phenomenally talented wrestler. And I know I'm forgetting some. And as soon as this interview's over, I'm going to kick myself over people that I didn't mention, because that's what I think of everyone that competes. They're all worthy of top billing, not just in Peak Sports Entertainment, anywhere in the Pacific Northwest they could headline.
Oh yeah, that's good. So got a lot of top talent. That's good. And another question. What? Give me a second. Clear my throat. I had to do the same too. So cheers. But anyway, are you thinking of bringing any other big names into the near future of your shows?
There are some surprises that I'm not in a position to say just quite yet, but I would say if you are paying attention to Peak Sports Entertainment, you're going to start to see some real fun individuals come in and make an appearance. So I gotta leave it as a teaser there, but we are definitely looking at rotating some people in. But the shows will always highlight our local roster, because it is that's the body. It's always nice to bring in some extra individuals, and we will, and it's gonna add pour gas on the fire. So that's very exciting. I wish I could say more.
No, I understand. You gotta keep it a secret, so I get it. So, like, are there anybody that you would like to work with someday, but not giving out who you have as guest this year, but just anybody that's not a guest that you had so
That's my bucket list. My bucket list was to have the NWA World Heavyweight Champion defend his title at a show. So for me, I've met and exceeded everything that I thought I would ever do in professional wrestling. So it's hard for me to really think about that. And I enjoy working with everyone. So offhand, that's such a good question, and probably one I should have prepared for. If I ever had the opportunity to work with Nick Aldis, I think that would be that would be a feather in my cap. I as a full, well-rounded performer, Nick Aldis is, that's who I look up to. Currently that is in the pro wrestling circuit. Also, love Matt Cardona. I know he's he travels everywhere. I think he brings amazing energy. I think he'd be an amazing person to work with as well. But if I had that, lottery ticket sort of thing, Nick Aldis is probably an individual that would be my dream, whether to manage him, whether to manage against him, whether just having some sort of interaction.
Okay, so that'd be good. And Nick Aldis, former NWA World Champion, so I can see that is a good pick.
Yeah,
Um,
I have to say, like especially as people get older and kind of go through different parts of their life. I did stop watching wrestling for a few years, and it was the reboot of the NWA that brought me back in when the NWA Power right before COVID. And
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, COVID killed a lot of momentum with what was building. And thinking about the wrestlers that were part of that initial roster, Ricky Starks, Nick Aldis, Eli Drake, LA Knight was part of that. You know, just an amazing group of people who have gone from the NWA in kind of that year and a half time frame and have they're superstars. They're superstars anywhere.
Right. Exactly. Uh, 5 to 10 years. Where do you see your company at that moment?
In when
5 to 10 years from now.
5 to 10 years, I mean, I said it, we're going to be the promotion that people think about when you think of professional wrestling in Western Washington. We're not right now, and so I look at what we're building. We're just continuing to grow and continuing to have that integrity to the product, and I just see that building. And so looking at doing more with production, more with video, more with commentary, really building that so you can jump in whether you are in Western Washington and checking us out live, or whether you're in the Midwest and just wanting to see high quality professional independent wrestling. You can jump in. So I see more expansion. Venues are tough. There are venues you can get around that 200 capacity, and then like the next jump is 700, 800, and so it is. There are challenges, logistical challenges to that, but that's why we're looking at like some potential different breweries that we could do, or different outside events, like I spoke about before. But I see continued growth. The product is amazing. The wrestlers out here are amazing. And so from the manager side, the promotion side, it's how do you harness that to get the biggest outreach and the biggest return. And um, Dave Turner and Chris Ross, who run Peak Sports Entertainment, who run it under my thumb, but they do run it. They have just amazing vision of what they're trying to create, and we have some other individuals that are very creative in terms of graphic design, in terms of layout, in terms of maximizing that production, that I just see us continuing to grow and grow and improve and improve. And I think there's just going to be that switch in people's minds where it's like, well, we want to see what's happening in Peak Sports Entertainment.
Okay. Is there any managers we should be looking out for? That's
Manager,
yeah.
yeah, I run the show. I am the manager. I don't know that I'm going to allow any other managers. This is managers. It's amazing because it seems like that gets overlooked in a number of promotions,
Hmm.
and I love having the opportunity to be a manager. And when you think about think about the 1980s, Bobby Heenan comes up in every conversation.
Oh yeah.
He's a manager. Thinking recently, when you think about what things that make wrestling great, Paul Heyman. He's no one thinks of people like Bobby Heenan or Paul Heyman or Jimmy Hart. Nobody thinks of them as afterthoughts. They are significant significant part of what made their era of wrestling great. And that's what I look at. So when I look at what makes a good manager, are you there improving the product, whether you're in the ring, outside the ring, whether you're talking, whether you're even just eyeballing members of in the crowd. And so I hope through my involvement with Peak, that will have other promotions look at the value of having managers and bringing more managers into the fold. But there is no other regular manager in Peak Sports Entertainment. We have the no good rotten commissioner, but he doesn't he can't be bothered to get his butt off of the desk.
Yeah, that can be good. But is there anybody in your company, like a wrestler, that we should be watching for that you think that's going to make it to the big time?
Making it to the big time it's tough to make that type of prediction because there's so many variables that go in it. I will say and some might claim bias, but the fact that Rebel Cal is not wrestling on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or the NWA or Impact or TNA, they're missing out. They're missing out. She is every bit as high quality of a performer of anyone in the world for wrestling, and another individual. And this, I might have to edit this in for broadcast in Washington, but Sebastian Wolf out of Vancouver, and we've had our mostly downs in Peak Sports, but again, the fact that he's not wrestling every week on TV in one of these major promotions, I think is a crime, and it's a disservice to fans. Those are two amazing individuals. I mentioned before Matt Brannigan. I don't watch people on TV and say, they're better than these guys. And it's, of course, that's all subjective, and it's not trying to, downplay the wrestlers that are on TV. But the
Right.
fact that some of these individuals aren't, it pains me to see, because I'm lucky. I get to see it. I get the front row ticket, the backstage. But I know, if they were featured regularly, the fans would love it. I think all of them have appeared in some capacity with like AEW or Ring of Honor, when they've rotated through, and Rebel Kel has been on SmackDown and some promos. So I know they're close. Their eyes definitely on them, but absolutely any one of them or all of them could be superstars in this sport.
Yeah, I do believe that too. Anybody can be a superstar as long as they work hard for it. So that's a good point. But
And me, and don't forget me. I should be managing everybody on TV. I'm that gasoline on the fire. So WWE, TNA, NWA, you're missing out by not having me in your promotion too.
who would you like to manage that's on the big time?
Oh, that's here. You're. I have to go straight to the NWA. That would be the dream, is being out in the NWA, managing. I always want to manage the champ. When Tom Latimer gets tired of dealing with Billy Corgan and needs to have an intermediary, I would love the opportunity to jump in and manage someone like him in big time.
Yeah, very interesting. I think you would be
But
successful at that one too.
I'd also I'd also really like to manage any one of the wrestlers I just said locally in the big time too, because they all belong there.
Yeah, I do agree with you in that. Um, do you have like a YouTube like channel for your like shows and stuff?
So we don't put the shows in its entirety on YouTube. This is part of what we're building. There are different clips that we're going to be putting on social media, and we just rolled out a type of match called a base camp match, and it kind of follows that. Quick paced. I think WWE is doing something very similar. So we have a match that has a 3 minute time limit that is filmed specifically for release. And so I would just encourage people follow our X account at Peak Sports PNW, which is our X and Instagram name at Peak Sports PNW, and watch for some of those clips and highlights to start to come out. So definitely the channels, that's part of the future. That's part of what we're growing. But we also want to make sure it's right, that the product that we're putting out visually matches the same quality for the people that are there in person watching. Because that's
Oh,
when I see some of these videos from other independent promotions, and I don't want to, certainly don't want to crap on anybody, but I know that the product presented in person was far superior than the product that is being presented on video. They cheap out on the video production side, and I think it undermines the product. So from my perspective, I think you want to make sure that when it's ready to go in those types of channels, it's ready to go. It's that high quality, matching the same professionalism that the performers are having in the ring, and matching the same visual presentation that the fans in the crowd are seeing.
gotcha. And I know you got to go soon, so like two more questions. Where can people find you at?
That's a good question. I probably should have plugged myself. I am at Morga Sports Management on Instagram, and at Miguel PNW on X. Those are my main social media accounts. I try to keep those as much professional wrestling geared as possible. However, with the recent developments with the football league, there's a fair amount of crossover between what I'm doing on the gridiron versus what I'm doing in the wrestling ring. So, those are the two primary ways to reach out to me. I love love interacting. Um, I can be in my day-to-day life a little shy, but if you're a fan and you've got questions, I'm happy to jump in and answer.
Okay, so everybody got that information. And one more question. What would you tell somebody that, trying to get into like the wrestling business, or, trying to get into the business of arena football? Like, what advice would you have for that individual?
I'd say make sure you know what you're getting into. Independent wrestling is tough. And arena football is tough. Neither are huge money makers. These are passion projects. So for the wrestling side, I mean, it is get trained. This I'm sorry, sound like the old man. This backyard wrestling nonsense with untrained people. It's people get hurt. It doesn't look good. There are ways to make what you do look really professional, and that's your brand. That's what you're selling every day. So get trained. Find a training facility. Find a good training facility that's invested into developing. At my age and my athleticism, I have limitations, and so find people that will focus on bringing out your best qualities and minimizing your less desirable qualities. There are a lot of amazing wrestling schools. I was extremely fortunate to come across Dave Turner and Chris Ross, and I don't know that there's anyone better for suited for building independent wrestlers than those two. But I also know great wrestling schools exist all across the country, but go in with your ears open to learn. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. So you want to learn, and I would say it's the equivalent in football. You know, approach things with the desire of learning and becoming professional. And above all, this goes for both, have a good attitude. This is supposed to be fun. Everything we do is to have fun, and so make sure you have a good approach. Make sure that you're professional. Make sure that you stick to your word. Those are things that are going to help open doors if you're living your values and meeting your values, and they'll also close doors if you're not. I would much rather work with a lower profile wrestler or football player that was honorable, had integrity, ethics, and was a good person to be around than a higher profile individual that was a cancer in the locker room. So that's my advice. Sometimes I sound like the old man shouting from his deck, but I think those are true words. I think they were true 20 years ago. I think they were true 40 years ago, and I think they'll be true in 20 years as well.
Yeah, I do agree with you. But thank you. One of the good managers that's in the Pacific Northwest, Miguel Morga. Thank you for being here and thank you for the time.
Appreciate your time. Remember, everybody, Peak Sports Entertainment, the number one promotion in the Pacific Northwest. Miguel Morga, Morga Sports Manager, the best manager in the world. And check out the Washington Wolfpack, the future AF1 champions. So come out Pacific Northwest, check us out, and just appreciate the time and appreciate you taking the opportunity to let me talk about the great things that are happening out here in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, yeah, no problem. You have a good one.
Thank you.
No problem. And that is Miguel Morga, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it was one of the good ones. So probably one of the best highlights of the show that we got so far. Besides the one I did on Tuesday was good as well. But anyway, just quick couple of announcements. Sorry I didn't get to talk to everybody that's on YouTube Live. SB Benny Gaming. I'm doing good. Sorry I didn't do the quick response. Nice Nevea. Ember's Logic. We gotta talk. We really do gotta talk. I missed your show yesterday, but I am gonna watch the one that you put out tonight when the Bucks play the Clippers. So I will be watching out for that. Then after that, I'm probably gonna do my take on the game as well. So we do gotta talk because like I want to interview you too, but I'm thinking like somewhere around April while I'm doing like the whole month of April with interviews from for friends and family. So I'm gonna like do that. So and plus we still got March 27th available. So we got 3 more spots available before I somewhat take a break and interview like family and friends. So we're going to start bringing it back up in May and go on with that and see who's interested. So I'm going to put that out there on Facebook and stuff like that. So just keep on watch of that. Was it Wallace Khan 990? Hello there. And I do appreciate the like on YouTube so far. So thank you. This episode will be on later on this evening around about 5 p.m. Central Time. And I apologize for the other video that was supposed to be posted yesterday, and I ended up posting it like maybe like a couple hours later because like a lot of stuff was going on with me in the 24 hours. But anyways, oh wow, another follower. Lofi 247. Thank you for the follow. And like I said, keep update with Twitch that we dub a lot of live content almost every day. So, just keep a watch out and look out for that. And spread the word about the channel. Like we just talk about wrestling, interview people in the independent scenes. Also did an interview with a Wisconsin legend, Mike Thompson. That will be on the web. That's on the website, and also posted all over the WFSO Facebook groups and certain other Facebook groups. So check that interview out. Like I said, this will be up on YouTube and Spotify later on today at 5 p.m. Central. So y'all really get to see the interaction with me and whoever I'm interviewing. So yeah, just check that out. Once again, guys, thank you for watching through Twitch. Appreciate the followers. So just keep following us, and hopefully it'll be good. After you guys on YouTube, appreciate the likes. Like I said earlier, please subscribe to the channel, and I think we're like 9 subscribers away from 500. So the main goal is trying to get 1,000. So if we end up getting past 1,000 after that, then that'll be very good for us. So I'm still gonna just say likes and subscribe, but I'm not gonna like push it after I get 1,000. So I'm just be happy with 1,000 and call it a day. Ooh, excuse me. Also, 2,400 videos that's on YouTube. Please, get a chance, check that out. Look for WFSO on YouTube. Yeah, over 2,400 videos and counting. Like I said, we're one of the longest reigning channels on YouTube. Very close to the beginning of YouTube we have been on. So very close of it. So yeah, like I said, one of the longest reigning channels on here. Also check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com for upcoming events, videos like this on the separate page for wrestling talk. Also we have like I mentioned, upcoming events that's going on in the Midwest, and also we have photos that we took with wrestlers, pictures that we took at Bucks events, and a big announcement about the April 11th event will be revealed tonight on Bucks Talk. So some of you wrestling fans may want to stay tuned for that. So we're going to name the person that we're going to have for the meet and greet, but we're not going to talk about the location as of yet. So we will mention the location within the next couple of weeks. And I think that's pretty much it. So please support the channel, and please check us out on Spotify. Look for Wrestling Fan Speak Out on Spotify for like interviews like this and stuff like that. So once again, I appreciate you being on here. We'll be back on within 3 o'clock, and I think let me look at my notes here. Can't believe February is almost over. We got referee Ben Hubbard today. We got him at I believe 3 o'clock. Then a local wrestler. Also he does a podcast too, a Skyler Weary, about talking about sports. So we'll talk to him like later on this evening. But we got referee Ben Hubbard at 3 o'clock Central Time. So, anyways, let me get out of here. Get ready for that and be prepared for everything else. So I appreciate you guys watching again. See you maybe within an hour. So, but then, like I said, thanks again for checking out the channel. Until the next video, you guys have a good one and see you later.